Nation's #1 DJ, DJ Rockwell.
Yo, this is Apocalypse, the lyrical warner, hip-hop revelator. And you rockin' with the nation's #1 DJ, DJ Rockwell, you understand me?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in the building. Get ready as we get our things together here. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show. This is your host, Brother Vaughn Muhammad, aka DJ Rockwell, and you tuned into the place to be, the Rockwell Radio Show. It is an absolute joy, privilege, and pleasure to be with you right here tonight for a special episode of the Rockwell Radio Show. My goodness, I don't even know what to tell y'all, but I'm excited, I'm fired up, and we're gonna have an excellent conversation tonight. We need everybody to do the 3 steps of the Rockwell Radio Show. Just go ahead and hit that like and share button, hit that tag somebody, and if you're watching on the YouTube channel, we want everybody to subscribe today to the Rockwell Radio Show. We want to invite everybody, and first of all, we want to give the greetings of Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. We want to welcome everybody to the show on the various platforms that are watching today. Big shout out to all people who are watching via Dr. Wesley's platform. Give them a big hand real quick. Salute to y'all. We thank you for joining us tonight. As you know, Doc had a big shutdown on his YouTube page, so he's building it again, and it's an honor, privilege, and a pleasure that we get to broadcast this episode on his new platforms, in addition to the Rockwell Radio Show platforms. So if you're new to his platform, go ahead and hit that subscribe button today. As you come in the room, let us know what city you're watching from, what mosque you're watching from. If you're out of the country, let us know what country you're watching from, and we want to shout you out. We see Flint, Michigan is in the house with us tonight. And go ahead and show us a few more people who are in the house, Dave. Let us know again what city you're watching from. Wa alaikum salam, Brother James. Let us know where you're checking in from, because we're going to have a awesome program tonight. And I'll be absolutely honest. This is a subject that I really was almost done with. ATL in the building. Birmingham in the building. I was almost done with this subject. North Carolina in the building. What's good? But I got a phone call. My producer got a contact and said, you know, what you doing tonight, brother? I wasn't broadcasting last night. Oakland, what's up? I wasn't broadcasting. I had a gig, so I didn't, I didn't broadcast. He said, what you think about what's going on? St. Louis in the building. What you think about what's going on, with Drake and all that? I share my thoughts, but we'll get into that. And he said, I wouldn't mind coming by, and sharing a few thoughts. I said, Brother Wesley called us to on this show? Brother, man, are you kidding me? Absolutely. You can come through here. So this special episode is for a subject that I've been following since its inception. And yeah, as you have seen in the ad, we're going to talk about the battle, the history-making battle between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and all of the moving parts. Mosque number 6, what's good? Says the Anna Muhammad. But first, we think it's absolutely necessary that people get a historical context of where battle rap came from. Because we can have this concept and jump into the now, but I just wanted to take a minute to walk you through why battle rap is so important. And Dave, can you hook it up right with the wrong one, Dave? There you go. Another one. Go on. Another one. There we go. Now, I wanted to walk y'all through a little bit of battle rap history. And no, I'm not talking about the entirety of battle rap history. I want to just share with you a few of the moments in my hip hop history that were impactful to me. Like this one is impactful to you all in this generation. Let's go, Dave. I want to tell you all who knows who those two gentlemen are on the screen right now. If you can see the two gentlemen with the two hats on the screen, put in the comments who they are. I want y'all to give it up real quick for MC Shan versus KRS-One, going back to almost 86 and 87. If you know some of the songs that they challenged each other with in 86 and 87, put them in the chats. I want to give you all just a bit of context of what drove hip hop to what we're experiencing today. I want to give you all just a bit of background of why the soul of hip hop, the very DNA of hip hop, come from cats like this. Again, if you know about KRS-One versus Shan, or BDP, I should say, versus MC Shan, the bridge is over. Shout them out, shout them out, shout them out. Big Dave, let's go to the next one. Tell me if you know about these two brothers. Can you tell me about LL Cool J versus Kool Moe Dee? We're talking a little bit about rap battle history, y'all. Just a little bit. If you know some of the names of the songs that LL charged KMD with, and KMD came back to LL, and nobody died. Nobody got shot. There was no beef. There was no hitting below the belt. It wasn't personal. If you know about that battle, shout them out. Put a fire emoji in the building. And shout out a few names of those songs. These are artists that set the tone, that again gave us the structure and the driving force of hip hop through righteous competition where it didn't get grimy. Let's go, Dave. Make some noise if you were there to see Roxanne Shante against everybody in the 80s. If you remember some of the records that Roxanne Shante battled with and who she battled, who remembers her clash with UTFO? Who remembers her clash with every other female in the industry when she did the record Big Mama? No hitting below the belt. Nothing personal. It's a gladiator sport. I want to now bring you up to the right now. Let's go, Dave. As we start laying the foundation for this Kendrick Lamar Drake story, here's what happened. This battle really jumped off in March, the 22nd of March, as you can see on the screen. Kendrick Lamar featured with a song called Like That. J. Cole came back with a 7-minute drill. J. Cole then apologized for a 7-minute drill and withdrew it and himself from the battle. We'll talk more about that later. Drake then fires back with his song Push-Ups. We're going to talk about how you felt about that. By the way, on the Rockwell radio show platform on YouTube, you'll find a poll. And the poll will simply ask, who do you got in the lead? Who's winning so far? And I would love to hear that. I would love to hear who you thought or who you think is winning. Then we hear from Drake again, a new back-to-back when he dropped Tailor-Made Freestyle. I'll keep my opinion to myself for the moment. Now watch this last couple of days here at the 30th of April. Then Kendrick comes out with Euphoria. He comes with another hook with 616 in LA. Drake tries to pummel back with Family Matters. And then again is Kendrick Parade. This is history making in hip hop. I'm a fan of the battle. I grew up, as you can see just from a moment ago, I grew up on the classic battle era of rap. That's the context. That brings us up to right now. Hey, let's go to the next slide. Now I started getting some opinions and feedback about what's happening in people's thought process, about what they thought. And my sister Mecca Islam, if you know Sister Mecca Islam, tag her. I'm about to talk about it real quick. Sister Mecca said these words. She said, look, rap beef is gonna get heated. That's it. It's a competitive sport, she says. It's going to get ugly. How ugly? Ugly, she says. Disrespectful, nasty, she says. That's kind of the point. Obliterate your opponent to the point they can't respond. She says he's with it, coming and going. She said having another response ready in the tuck is what he was talking about, being war ready, she says. You know what? So we can tell. And I kind of, at one degree, shared a sentiment with Sister Mecca. Sister Mecca, that's for you. For being a real hip-hop head. And what's so funny, she's so quaint and quiet, but who knew that she was a gladiator for hip-hop? Let's keep going real quick, Dave. My brother's speech from Arrested Development had this to say. He said, listening to Drake's Family Matters, Kendrick's Meet the Gram proves that the glaring limitations of battling, peddling toxicity for mass applause with no end game. In this instance, fans of each artist ain't switching sides. They should have talked to each other man to man. I agreed with that. And the last point I want to share was from myself. I posted this the other day because after those last couple of records, I wasn't having fun anymore. And I realized that we are in a mudslinging match. And in my era of hip hop, we had fun. We threw verbal punches. We ran the dozens. But nobody got shot. Nobody got threatened, you know. Nobody died like that in 88, 89. But what we're seeing today, in my opinion, has devolved into a modern war. Let's keep going, Dave. Let's keep going right back into this. Now, I want to bring my guest into the show. This brother has been a previous guest here on the Rockwell Radio Show before. He needs really no introduction. You know his resume. You know his works. Hopefully you're supporting his latest book, Chariots of the Black Gods. I got my copy. You should get yours. Please welcome back to the Rockwell Radio Show, my brother and yours, Brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad. There it is. There it is. There it is. Everybody, welcome to the show once again, my brother.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be back because I have a bow tie phobia. I'm gonna help you out.
Thank you. Thank you. My brother is my mirror.
Bow tie trauma in my past, so I'm not gonna leave my brother out there. I would want.
Come on. Thank you, good brother. Okay.
I love you. So
I'm in reverse. That's why I'm
didn't tell me pull my coat about my bow tie. They don't love me.
There we go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good, sir. I'm honored to be back, dear brother DJ Rockwell. And you said it right, you know. I was not at all invested in this phenomenon. Not just the Kendrick Lamar rap battle beef, but the whole phenomenon of rap beef and R&B rap beef that we find ourselves confronted with right now. I was not overly invested in it. But a point came where watching it and then watching its reverberations on the ground, I felt that something very particular had to be said. And there was only one platform that I thought of that I wanted to say it on. And it was this platform, your platform.
Allahu Akbar.
DJ Rockwell, for a number of reasons. I felt that the conversation that needs to be had regarding what we're witnessing has not been had. And I believe that your platform is the best space for it to be had.
Allahu
So
Akbar.
I didn't think of any other platform, though there are other platforms, many hip hop platforms I've been on. And I suspect they would have been happy to have me on there for them to do what they do. But I only thought of you and your platform to have this conversation. I think it's the right time to enter what seems to be a unique perspective into this phenomenon that we are confronted with. And I will come back to why I'm tagging it as a phenomenon. Why don't you just call it what it is? Brother Wesley, it's a rap battle. It's a phenomenon that we are confronted with, and I will clarify that language later, inshallah. So thank you, brother DJ Rockwell, for obliging your brother.
The honor is ours. Now, as far as I can get my bow tie to stay in place,
I know.
I'm gonna get some hate mail.
I know.
Brother Vaughn had Dr. Wesley and had a whack bow tie on.
No, sir. No, sir. You look good. Like I told you, you sound like a black Muslim minister, and you look like a black Muslim minister.
Brother,
and
I'm in
you
great
are
company.
doing your ministry. This is your roster.
Praise be to
very
Allah.
excellently.
Brother, I'm humbled and grateful. Thank you sincerely. Brother Doctor, let's start here. And again, because of the way that this show came about, I can only today be led by the spirit and my instincts of what I know, which is hip hop. And some of the things I've heard you say. 2 weeks ago, Brother Dr. Wesley, I did a show and I titled it, "Is Battle Rap Good for Hip Hop?" And I quoted you in that episode and your thoughts with J. Cole. So I'd like to start with your thoughts on J. Cole withdrawing himself from the battle, with your comments there.
My last and most recent public statement on this phenomenon, I share my thoughts. And I posted it right after posting it. I thought of you. This conversation, I thought of you. My post was, who's the winner? J. Cole. So at this point, to me, J. Cole won. How did J. Cole win? J. Cole won by taking the high road. Since he removed himself, and I take issue with everybody calling it an apology. I didn't hear an apology. I didn't hear him say the words, "I'm sorry." I heard him say he's standing down, that he regrets being drawn into something that's not in agreement with his principles, and that he has love for Kendrick, and he's standing down. I think when we put it in the category of apology, had he said the words, "I'm sorry, I apologize," then it would be an apology. But what I heard was him standing down, and by doing so, he was manning up. J. Cole took the high road because he saw where this was going. We are not this phenomenon that's taking place. I take issue with everyone who simply dismisses it as battle rap. I take serious issue. You beautifully introduced us to what battle rap is. What is taking place now is of a different nature. It's a different animal. So I said J. Cole is the winner. after I heard these last offerings, which inspired me and inspired this conversation, after I heard these last offerings from brother Kendrick Lamar and brother Drake, I said to myself, and I expressed it, J. Cole won because by standing down, by absenting himself from this process, he took the high road while this process has degenerated into the mud. This whole thing has degenerated to a very dangerous level.
Yes, sir.
And those of us who are treating what we are witnessing now as if it is simply battle rap, the sport of hip hop, as if this is competitiveness like Little League basketball. But people don't die over the competitiveness of Little League or professional basketball, professional competition. But as you, brother DJ Rockwell, laid the base for what battle rap is.
Yes, sir.
Which ain't this. I want to remind us of what this is that we're witnessing and how it ain't battle rap. This is murder rap. We act like we forgot. Let me back up a minute.
Yes, sir.
What triggered me to say J. Cole won because he took the high road while both my brother Kendrick Lamar and my brother Drake, they both in their offerings crossed lines that in battle rap were never crossed.
That's right.
Because they are lines that on the street get people killed. Let me remind us. It was when Tupac dropped Hit 'Em Up.
That's right.
Remember, when Tupac dropped Hit 'Em Up, and he opened that song with I F Your Wife.
Right, right.
It was inevitable that somebody was going to get hurt. And both, not only, Hit 'Em Up had the Outlaws on it. Not only did Pac and Biggie end up murdered, but a number of those from the Outlaws were murdered. That was 96. In 1997, we saw Nas and Jay-Z, and look at the lesson. Jay-Z drops Takeover. Nas drops Ether. It's Rap Battle. But then Jay-Z dropped Super Ugly. And then Super Ugly, remember. See, Jay-Z got a call from his mama. And his mother encouraged him to apologize for what he said. And Jay-Z apologized for what he said. Well, what did you say, Jigga Man? In Super Ugly that made you apologize to your rap op. When he invoked in this song, Nas is not only his baby mama, but indirectly his baby daughter, saying what he did in the car seat, what a baby girl sits in. So now he drags. He crossed the line that Pop crossed, and a lot of people ended up murdered. Jay-Z, because that was super ugly. See, that ugliness was in a song called Super Ugly, and he recognized that that was super ugly, and he apologized for it, and he took that L. And probably the L he had to hold and he accepted wasn't on the merits of the lyricism, because that's probably debatable. But because he went super ugly in it and had to pull it back and apologize, he held that L. And most recently, and I will end here, illustrating why J. Cole won. Because he took the high road while everybody else is descending to the lowest levels. Remember, for years, Young Dolph and Yo Gotti were funking. But when in 2016, Young Dolph dropped Play With Yo, I'm not going to finish, Play With Yo B.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in that song, Young Dolph talks about Yo Gotti's woman and his baby mama. He talks about Yo Gotti's brother. And Play With Yo, while it's a club banger, it's rocking, but it crossed lines.
Mm.
And it was after Young Dolph dropped Play With Yo, the bullets began flying. And eventually, Young Dolph gets murdered, but it didn't stop there. Black Youngster, who was with Gotti and was part of that beef, his brother gets murdered after Young Dolph gets murdered. Yo Gotti's brother, who Young Dolph name dropped in the song, he gets murdered. So 3 murders consequent to this battle rap. That ain't no battle rap. That is murder rap. In the ugliness, where we're not battering wits, right? We're not in a lyrical sword fight. We're in the mud. We're crossing lines. And so when I heard both Kendrick Lamar and Drake cross those lines, both of them did, bringing wives and children and mamas and daddies into it in the most salacious way. I said J. Cole is the winner by taking a high road while this situation descended into the mud that can produce in our way the culture of hip hop. And I want to talk about that. The culture of hip hop today is what makes those rap lyrics problematic. The culture, the state of hip hop culture today is why those rap lyrics, because people want to restrict this to just rappers, rap lyrics. There's a negative, cyclical relationship between the negative rap lyrics and negative rap culture that continues to feed each other, that has Black America trapped in a culture of death. So J. Cole won. That's my thoughts. He won by taking a high road while this phenomenon sunk to the depths that it is now.
You've used and continue to use the word phenomenon, and you said you'd explain that. Why do you use that particular word to describe what we're witnessing now?
One, because I refuse to use the language battle rap. You gave us a great Cliff Note history of battle rap. That was fun. Those were great times. That was a display. That was us putting our minds on display in a competitive sport way. That is hip hop. This is Satanism. This is Satanism. I'll unpack that, inshallah. So I refuse to put the language battle rap on what we're witnessing, but also I use the phenomenon because, again, this is bigger than Kendrick and Drake, not just in terms of who all are participating in this phenomenon. Kendrick, Drake, Rose, Chris Brown, Quavo. It's like everybody almost like on cue. And everybody's talking about triggers. Everybody's talking about when I see you, then what? So that's one reason.
Yes, sir.
That I use the word phenomenon because there's a lot of it. All at the same time, it sprouted up to me like it's a phenomenon. And I forgot the other point I was going to make on this. So I'll let you go to.
Okay. Well, I'll come back to this
that.
Sir?
Maybe Allah is withholding that thought I had. Thank you, Allah.
Again, everybody, you're tuned to the Rockwell Radio Show. This is DJ Rockwell, Brother Ron Muhammad. And my guest tonight is our dear brother, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. We want to welcome all of you to the show. All of you who are watching across many, many platforms. The Rockwell Radio Show has been on the air for 3 years now. And the reason that we exist really is for reasons just like tonight. And what we do is provide the cross section, the intersection with the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we intersect that with this great, beautiful culture of ours called hip hop. Speaking of culture, you mentioned that word a moment ago. And it triggered a few thoughts. And I want to see if I can get this question in before we go to break. And you also mentioned Rose. He's attacking Drake on what some perceive to be race. And we also see Kendrick offering a parallel attack in his lyrics where some perceive to be culture, saying that, and in fact, in one of his latest records, he called him, what was the word he used? Y'all help me out in the chat room. He called him like an antelope. What's the word I'm looking for? He jumped on him. But one who essentially is faking the funk, usurping a culture, referring to him as a culture vulture. And I think this is a very great territory. And the question is this: when it comes to people who do hip hop, is it fair to make the critique if they don't come from the hood, if they don't come from the lower class neighborhood that you or me may come from? If they come from a middle class neighborhood, is it fair to say you ain't real? You shouldn't even, matter of fact, don't even say the N word. Is it a fair charge?
I believe the charge is a consequence of hip hop being commandeered. And then as a result of it, hip hop has been used to popularize a fabricated version of authentic blackness. Hip hop has been used to fabricate a popular version of what it means to be black. Thus, are you a real nigga? I'm a real nigga. So the most authentic expression of blackness is to be a real nigga.
Right.
But how do we know what a real nigga is? Where the script that has been provided to our hip hop artists. Listen how I said that. The script that has been provided to our hip hop artists, at least the ones who agreed to the deal that will make them popular and successful, because hits are made by the industry. The script included the definition, the personification. And so now, if you don't meet the definition of real nigga, then you're not really black.
Wow, come on with that.
And that's very, now, let me back up. I remember what I was going to say about your question. Why am I using the language phenomenon? And this speaks right into the second question. Is the fact that Drake, who has a black father and white mother, is the fact that his mother being Jewish, he came up religiously Jewish. To me, does that mean he's not black? Well, it may mean he ain't a real nigga. But I personally would not say that ipso facto disqualifies him for being black. His religion disqualifies him from being black. I would not say that. But because black has been defined as real nigga. So if I don't rap or play basketball, if I don't smoke, don't drink, because and this is why I want to have this conversation on your platform. I got so many thoughts. Let me slow down so I can get them all out.
Come on now. Yes, sir.
There's things that we as FOI and MGT, we don't engage in. Things that are valorized in nigga culture. Things that are valorized in nigga culture. The culture of the Nation of Islam requires that we don't partake in. Some have disqualified our blackness. Some because they have an errant understanding of Islam. They foolishly think Islam is an Arab religion. And so we, the Muslims, we ain't black because we're shackled to an Arab religion. So there's all of these pseudo definitions of blackness. And we judge each other's blackness based on our own blackness. If you ain't like me, then you ain't real.
That argument.
So I don't say Drake isn't black because he came up in a Jewish household. Now, there are things that we black people, regardless of our religion, regardless of our parentage, there's things that we can do that can get our own black card revolt?
Say that.
Absolutely it is. The blackest brother or sister in the room can do something to get their black card revoked. So Drake can do something that revokes his black card. So could Kendrick. So could Wesley Muhammad. But I think injecting that into this beef, well, I'm going to say that I reject the definition of blackness that hip hop 2024 is peddling. I reject it. Now, allow me to read this. The phenomenon that we are witnessing. This is where I was going. What phenomenon are we witnessing, Brother Wesley? We're witnessing the Zip Coon phenomenon. The Zip Coon phenomenon, or the other term for it, the Bully Coon phenomenon. That is literally the phenomenon, the 2024 iteration of the Bully Coon phenomenon. Before I unpack that, let me start like this. For those who say, Brother Wesley, don't say hip hop, say rap.
A rap. I've heard this argument. Mm-hmm.
Hip hop is the culture. Hip hop is one of the elements of the culture. I know what culture is. And I think I said on your show before, it's the culture that is the problem. It is hip hop culture 2024 that is the problem. Those who want to make a distinction between rap music and hip hop culture, I say this to you. Rap is music for white people.
Come on.
Rap is culture for black people. What is culture? We throw these terms around as if they have no actual meaning. Culture, Boston University tells us, are the ways of life of a population, including arts, beliefs, institutions, ways of life that are passed down from generation to generation. It includes codes of manners, dress, language, religion, and it encompasses social behavior. See, hip hop as a culture encompasses social behavior. Now, the rappers do absolutely tend to be the drum majors of the social behavior exhibited within hip hop culture. There's that looping, that dangerous looping that I spoke about before. The rappers, no. The labels, the hidden hand, the devils engineered through the rappers, the culture because when we uncritically love hip hop, when we uncritically love hip hop, then we accept the script from the hot rapper if he has a hot producer to put it over a hot track.
Right.
In all the death and degeneracy, revalorize it. We defend it and say it's hip hop. It's for the culture. What culture? A culture engineered by the enemy.
Come on.
to the Muslims. People, the hip hop heads, have their view, they're weighing in on what they're witnessing in. They have their view and they have their right. I'm a hip hop consumer. I'm a fan more so back then than currently.
Sure.
But I'm not a hip hop head. I can't claim that accolade of being a hip hop head. So hip hop heads that are judging this and weighing in, I take my hat. I defer to you on the aesthetic, lyrical, artistic merits of this phenomenon. I defer to you. I'm a Muslim.
Come on.
Now, we have Muslim hip hop heads in the nation, as you are. That's why I want to be on your show. The difference, however, between us and everyone else, you can be a hip hop head in the nation, but above being a hip hop head, as a Muslim, you and I are saviors.
Come on.
Listen. Because this is what I wanted to say. Above being a hip hop head, those hip hop heads out there, they can stop at that. They can stop at being a hip hop head and they can judge what they're witnessing totally through the lenses of a hip hop head. You and I, neither one of us, a hip hop head, a hip hop fan, but both FOI. That means neither one of us have the luxury of assessing this phenomenon from the lenses of a hip hop head.
Wow.
You and I have to assess what's going on through the lenses of a savior for black people. And so when we look at it from that perspective, we as Muslims, we have to look at the bigger picture. We can't miss the forest for the trees.
Listen.
The bigger picture is, what are the reverberations of what we're hearing? However skillfully K. Dot pieced together his
plural.
However skillfully Drake put his together. The hip hop heads out there can argue over those merits and let the resolution of that argument be the end of it. We look at, what was said and how will that play out in the community? So is battle rap good for the black community? I say yes. Is this good for the black community? Absolutely not. That's why I refuse to give it the credit of calling it battle rap. This nigga shit.
Are y'all listening? My God.
Use my language.
Come on. Let me.
This is nigga. The nigga.
Come on, man.
The nigga is white supremacy's Frankenstein. So I want to put something out there. I know I've been going a long time. I want you to get in. If you have something to ask or say, please do.
Let me just pause just for only a millisecond. there's a riot going on in the chat room saying, Vaughn, keep going, don't break. But
we gotta pay bills. Everything is real.
We gotta pay bills, and my brother might want something to get something to drink. So y'all don't kill me. This is the Rockwell Radio Show. I thank you all for hanging on. This is DJ Rockwell. My guest tonight is none other than Brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Don't go away. We will be right back with more.
What up with it, man? You already know what time it is. It's me, Young Kind of Don. I'm up in this thing.
Peace. This is Aziz, the Kid Kareem, the Life Giving MC.
Peace, everyone. This is Brother Anthony K. Muhammad, also known as A-Tone, the hip-hop historian.
Peace, family. What's going on? It's Brother Jabril, Brother Mustafa, Lordship Productions in the building.
I am your sister, Arian Nicole. Peace, peace, peace. It's your sister, Sue Axel. You're watching the Rockwell Radio Show.
You are now tuned in live to the Rockwell Radio Show.
Right now, you're listening to Rockwell Radio Show.
Rockwell Radio. If you ain't listening, man, you wasting time. You on all these other stations, you need to tap in. Rockwell Radio.
You know what it is. Watch them, watch them, watch them.
I'm here with Brother Rockwell, the Rockwell Radio Show.
You ain't in the game, you in the stand. Stop playing, man. Let's go.
When last time you bought a Final Call?
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? We always want to stop. I mean, this is what I'm not doing. Yeah, everybody go buy a Final Call tomorrow. Everybody who watched it. The Muslims shouldn't have no papers in their hand tomorrow. Because you know what the Muslims going to do with the money?
True.
They're going to create other Muslims.
True.
You know what the Muslims going to do? They're going to keep your neighborhood safe. They're going to show your little girl ain't nothing wrong with wearing a long dress. They're going to teach your children they're the original people on earth. So you know what that little $2 going to do. So go and spend that little $2.
True. True.
That's it.
True.
That's it. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. My bow tie's still straight, so I had to make sure that everything was together here. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Rockwell Radio Show. We want to just take a quick moment to shout out everyone who is joining us again across multiple platforms. People are watching from Dr. Wesley's platforms, plural. People are watching from other platforms. And I also want to take a moment to ask all of you who are watching, make sure you subscribe to all of them. Subscribe to our sister platforms, Closing the Gap. Subscribe to our sister platform, Nothing But the Truth. We want to make sure that you have a plug into all of these broadcasts that deliver content like this. So, brother, may we continue?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Wow. And I just want to remind everybody that tonight primarily is unscripted. And I'm just kind of going off my instincts of the things that are on my mind as it relates to this conversation, and definitely wanting to and hoping that they pluck some things from your mind as well. I want to go back to culture for a moment. And let me just say, everything that you just said a moment ago was for me. And I don't know what y'all heard, but I heard every word and it was for me. And I thank you. Let's go back to several months ago. Where Mos Def, or formerly known as Mos Def, spoke of something in an interview. And people thought he was going at Drake by making fun of him and talking about his music was played in like Target. To me, that was a precursor to the same attack that we're seeing now. People that are his fans are his fans. People are that are Kendrick's fans are his fans. Can there ever be a a balancing? Could there ever be a meeting of the minds or a comparison between what we call underground hip hop and what we call pop? Is Drake usurping underground while he's actually a pop artist? And should he lose credibility for that? Does my question make sense?
Well, I'm sure it would make more sense to a hip hop head, and you probably would have to ask a hip hop head, because I'm not qualified to weigh in on the artistic merits of any artist. I would let you all debate that. I would let, if by being played at Target diminishes, well, I'll let y'all have that argument. I'm not qualified to weigh in on that. What am I weighing in on? I'm weighing in on, and let me preface it by reading something that was said to me, posted to me on the flyer, under the flyer advertising that we were coming. Said, one commenter said, why talk about rappers' beef? There are far more issues, way more, he means to say, I'm sure, way more important to discuss.
I've heard this critique.
It's part of the culture. I hope you're not running out of subjects to discuss. Oh, certainly not. Someone else said, surely we have more comprehensive issues that afflict our community more so than this topic, such as why universities that are being asked to divest any financial support to Israel must solicit law enforcement to deal with college student direct protests, or what is AIPAC involvement with colleges and universities position with law enforcement involvement with students' protests. Kind of muddled. Last, what position should our young African American members, college and non-college individuals, be truly focused on during these diabolical times? With all due respect, most of these so-called beefs are record executives oriented and initiated. So why, brother Dr. Wesley, would you lower yourself to talk about some rap beef? I'm not lowering myself, and I'm not on your platform to talk about the Kendrick Drake rap beef as a rap battle. I leave y'all hip-hop heads to do that. I'm on your platform to call our attention to a phenomenon that is very important to Black people. Now, hip-hop itself as a phenomenon is very important to Black people. I have always said that, in my opinion, the gods of the Black community are the hot rappers and the hot producers. I've said that several times. Y'all heard me say that. Yes, why do I say that? What is a god? A god is a being of power and force. And there is no being in Black America who has more power and more force to shape Black thinking and thus Black behavior. None has more power to do that than the rapper, the hot rapper, and the hot producer. No preacher, no politician, not even an athlete has the power that the Black rapper has. So that's a god in the community. So the phenomenon of hip hop, which was God generated, God brought hip hop out of young black people.
Come on.
In America, God did. And hip hop has the power to be in a vanguard of black liberation and resurrection. But Satan saw that, and Satan commandeered hip hop, and Satan is using the power of hip hop. Satan is using the power of hip hop to achieve Satan's ends. Remember, my hip hop family, in particular, my hip hop kids who think Wesley should stay out of this, stay in his lane. I'm not in your hip hop head lane. I let y'all argue the merits, artistic and lyrical merits of Drake, Cole, Rose.
Y'all run with that. Have fun.
Y'all tell me who won the lyrical battle, but I declared that J. Cole won the bigger contest. The contest of integrity. Remember, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in 2010. She openly admitted that the U.S. government uses hip hop as a tool at its disposal. She said, with that evil grin on her face. Now, this isn't the occasion when she said it, but it's that same evil grin. When she said that, so we move a lot of different pieces on the chessboard every day, in hip hop is a chess piece in a multi-dimensional chess. Hip hop, a chess piece in a multi-dimensional game of chess that the U.S. government is playing. Hip hop as a tool of its disposal to use it to achieve its end. So hip hop has been commandeered. And Black life is affected as a consequence. That's why, dear critics of mine, why give your time to this? Because this, I'm not here to talk about Kendrick and Drake. Those are both my brothers. I'm certainly not here to judge their artistry. That ain't my bag. That ain't my lane. But as an FOI, we see the bigger picture. We see how this affects Black life in America. That's our concern.
Yes, sir.
And Muslims, we have to not treat "Keep It Messiah" as an empty cliche.
Listen.
Gotta not treat "Keep It Messiah" as a simple hashtag. If we say "Keep It Messiah," we got to know that we have to literally keep it Messiah. So how does that, a hip hop head out there ain't obligated to do that, but we in the nation, whether we are hip hop head or not, both of us have a obligation to keep it Messiah. So what does that look like? The Messiah would not take sides in this beef. This ain't battle rap. This is beef where violence is invoked, lines are crossed. The Messiah would never take sides, Kendrick against Drake, Drake against Kendrick. So how do we look as Muslims taking sides in a ugly, line crossing, potentially dangerous occurrence in our community? As Muslims, we have to be saviors.
Come on.
We may have come as hip hop heads, and we can still be hip hop heads, but our ultimate duty It's to be a savior. So we view everything and we judge this situation not as a hip hop head. We judge this situation as a savior. And so, if we are really keeping it Messiah, one, we will not insert the minister in this. And that does not please the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan. I'm saying that to us. It does not please the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan that his name, his image, his likeness is being dragged into this as if he's picking sides. You know that ain't the way of the Messiah. So you can't do that and then hashtag keep it Messiah. J. Cole was the only one who kept it Messiah in this situation when he just chose to take the high road. And that's why he won.
I'm speechless, y'all. Again, Brother Dr. Wesley, we thank you. We are now just over the hour. I don't know how much time you had planned on spending with us tonight, but I will graciously accept whatever time you have.
I want a few more minutes. There is one thing I wanted to put on the table. One other thing I want to put on the table, but no, I don't have any. I know you're accommodating your brother, so I already broke my fast. I ate. right. Salute to all of the Muslims who successfully got through our national fast.
Come on.
But there is so I have as much time as is appropriate. I'm not rushing to get off. There is something I want to put on the table.
Yes, sir.
This culture thing. And why what phenomenon are you identifying, Brother Wesley? You keep using this word phenomenon to describe what's going on. It's just rap battle. You're making it more than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. What phenomenon? First, understand that I said rap is music for white people. Rap is culture for black people. What do I mean by that? Well, %80 of rap consumers are white people. Think about that. 80% of white commercial consumers of rap music are white people. The owners of rap, the label heads, the owners, are white people. The script writers.
Yes, sir.
The script writers for most rap music are white. Now, as we documented in our book on the weaponization of marijuana and hip hop, whites write the script, hip hop scripts, specifically for the white audience.
Yes, sir.
And they fabricated this blackness, this nigga, this real nigga. They fabricated it to feed the appetites of the white consumer. We can go through the history when ghetto boys had an H in their name. They was just braggadocious.
Come on now. Wow. You went back with that one. Mm-hmm.
But then that white boy, Cliff Blodgett, said market research says if you want to sell records, you need an edge. You need some violence. You need some gore. And so they took the H out of their name, and Ghetto Boys innovated slasher rap. That process repeats itself with Doug Morris, with Jimmy Iovine, with Leo Cohen.
Carl.
All of them. Once the majors took over hip hop, they fed their audience, and their audience is white people. And whites have a particular appetite for black people. But so I said, this is what I mean when I say rap is music for white people, because these 80% consumers, they hear all of this, but it don't change their culture. It don't make them act it out. They don't believe that that is how, by listening to this, that is how they should be. Yeah, you got your Paul Walls and whatever, your Wigger, Wigger. That ain't
right.
That's a small minority. 80% of the consumers of hip hop, it's entertainment, it's music. They listen to it, they enjoy it, they put it down, they go back to ruling the world. But for black people, rap music becomes culture. Rap music shapes our behavior, shapes our thinking, shapes our behavior, shapes our morals, our principles. So rap is culture for us, but it's simply music and entertainment for its primary target, white people. Now, let me land this plane. With that being said, I mentioned Zip Coon and Bully Coon, and I really desire for the audience to get this point. Originally, blackface, DJ Rockwell, was stage performance.
Right.
Whites would dress up as a coon, blackface, and perform in coonery, feeding appetites of the white audience, because that's the fabricated blackness. Whites have an appetite for blackness, but a specific blackness, a blackness. There's only a certain type of blackness that tastes good to white people.
Ooh.
There's only a certain type of blackness that tastes good to white people, and white people have an insatiable appetite for that type of blackness. So the minstrel show was a stage performance of a fabricated blackness that fed the appetites of its white audience. From the stage performance came the coon song. The coon song was the blackface stage performance fulfilled in song. So from blackface stage performances, genre of music called coon songs was put out, and it fed the appetite through music of white people. And there's a particular character that was central to the coon song. I'm going to remind us of him in a minute, but there's a third stage that is critically important. When the blackface stage performance was realized musically through coon songs, the coon songs were translated into, get this terminology, the coon songs were translated into off-stage modes of behavior.
Listen, y'all, listen.
All right. That may have gone over some heads, but inshallah,
Come on.
that because it's critical. Why I keep resisting. No, it ain't rap. It's the culture. Because the culture is modes of behavior, its values, its morals. The culture plays out. Rap is restricted to the wax, but the culture plays out in the community.
Right.
So, from blackface stage performance, realized into in music through the coon songs, and then translated into off-stage modes of behavior. So what we experience in the coon song, how the Zip Coon on stage behaved, that was fulfilled, given expression in these coon songs. Somebody off stage is going to adopt those modes of behavior.
Come on.
And what are those modes of behavior, off stage modes of behavior that's adopted? One of the key figures of the coon songs, and this we're talking about the late 19th century, late 1800s, then early 1900s. But you'll see we're talking about 2024. A central character in the coon songs is Zip Coon, this bully coon. Who is this bully coon? Who is this bully coon, and what's the traits? See, this bully coon is the blackness that fed the appetites of the whites. This is the blackness that they enjoyed consuming. This is a real nigga. This is an 1897 real nigga. The most authentic blackness.
He didn't say 1997, he said 1897.
This is an 1897 real nigga. In the songs, and this is our dear brother James Dorman in his article, Shaping the Popular Image of Post-Reconstruction American Blacks, the coon song phenomenon. So there's that word phenomenon.
Again,
Direct connection between this and why I'm using the language phenomenon to describe what we're encountering today. The coon song phenomenon in the Gilded Age. Look at what Dr. Dorman says about these coon songs. Quote, in the songs, blacks began to appear as not only ignorant and indolent, but also devoid of honesty or personal honor, given to drunkenness and gambling, libidinous, over-sexualized. Coons were, in addition to all of these things, razor-wielding savages. See, we didn't have 9mm then. We didn't have Glocks. So the real nigga then had a razor. Had a razor. Coons were, in addition to all of these things, razor-wielding savages, routinely attacking one another at the slightest provocation as a normal function of their uninhibited social lives. The razor, the flashing steel straight razor, became in the songs the dominant symbol of black violence, while the coon himself became that which was signified by this terrible weapon. The subliminal message of these coon songs, with their razor-wielding real nigga, That's me. The subliminal message
Mhm.
was clear and clearly part of the connotative code, the message of these coon songs, authored by white people, of course, for the benefit and the appetite of white people. Said the subliminal message was clear and clearly part of the connotative code. Blacks are potentially dangerous. They must be controlled and subordinated by whatever means necessary.
Wow.
Although black violence lay somewhere near the surface of virtually every episode or event described in coon songs, in every song, black violence is under the surface of every coon song. Although black violence lay somewhere near the surface of virtually every episode or event described in coon songs, notably, the violence was uniformly perpetrated by blacks on blacks. Whites were never directly involved. The toughest and meanest coon was the bully coon.
Mm.
So two objectives for the coon songs, and it's real nigga of the day, Zip Coon, Bully Coon. By spreading through song, through music, this image of the toughest Negro as the bully coon with his razor that is always at the slightest provocation slashing fellow coons, fellow Negroes, that did two things. It justified, because this is presented as authentic blackness. This is really how black people are. So that violence, that violent nature of the coon justified the crackdown on a black community. This is why we have to over-police your community.
Listen.
This is why we have to police black communities harder than other communities, because we learn from y'all culture that black men,
Wow.
violence is under the surface of every incident with a black man. So we have to over-police the community. The other thing it does, the coon song, it produced off-stage mode of behavior. So while Zip Coon, the name of the most famous bully coon, while Zip Coon is an artistic fabrication designed to feed white appetites, his popularity in song was expected to produce off-stage modes of behavior.
A certain outcome.
Produce bully coons in the community, because that bully coon with his razor is only going to slash other black people. We ain't got no fear. The Zip Coon is going to lift that razor at we white people. So those are the two objectives of coon songs, 1894. And those are the two objectives of coon songs, 2024.
Wow.
And this is why. So death follows these so-called rap battles. In this era, a lot of blood had shed. We didn't even mention Jeezy and Gucci Mane.
Yep. Yes, sir.
The fact of the matter is, these exchanges stopped being battle rap a long time ago. They have been murder rap for a long time, because the coonery that is scripted in inevitably leads to offstage modes of behavior.
Wow. I thought of a question. Can I jump in with one?
I am not I am not calling, and don't let it go out there that I am calling our brother Kendrick, our brother Drake, coons.
Understood.
Willie Coons or any other. But why I'm so disappointed out the gate, all of these rap songs have all of these diss songs, have all of them threatening each other with violence. All of them talking about pulling triggers. All of them. So this ain't battle rap. Once you do that, that's murder rap because y'all talking about murdering each other. All of y'all. And while I do not believe any of you would do it, but because most of you know you got too much to lose. But it don't matter. We don't know who shot Young Dolph, but we know Yo Gotti didn't shoot him. But Young Dolph is dead.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who. They say they know, but we really don't know who shot Pop, but we know Big didn't. But Pac is dead and Big is dead. So this ain't battle rap. That history has gone. You reminded us of the glorious history of battle rap. We have been in the era of murder rap ever since.
Huge difference. Wow.
Hip hop has been commandeered by those who have an appetite for a particular blackness, and we are feeding that appetite. But it's black people who die. And so I close on this. To those that, why is this a concern of you, Dr. Wesley? Because as I watch the news, Brother DJ Rockwell, every time as a FOI, as a Muslim follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, under the leadership of the Honorable Brother Mr. Farrakhan, the Messiah, black suffering hurts me. To see a child robbed of a father, it affects me.
Come on.
To see black death, to see a mother have to bury her child, that hurts me. I am not indifferent to black death. That's keeping it Messiah.
Come on.
So because this phenomenon, we've been here too many times, and every time we've been here of late, there's been some child who's robbed of their father. Every time we have been here of late, there's been a murder. So this ain't battle rap. This beefing that it's murder rap because all y'all talking about murdering. All y'all talking about sending lead out. All of it. That ain't sport. That is not good for Black America. That, talking about a man's wife, fiance, children, that ain't good for nobody. Ain't no artistic value in that to me. Because you know on the street, them fighting words. All of these words you hearing now on the street, them fighting words.
Somebody getting knocked out or worse over those words.
Now, these artists may or might not be street. I don't know, but there's a lot of street around them. So I'll shut up there.
Wow. But Doc, every question that I formulated in my mind, you have answered. But I would like to move to close with just one. As I've listened to you talk, I could only conclude one insurmountable fact that this is, and Dead Prez told us years ago that this is bigger than hip hop. This is bigger than rap. and it's almost it cheapens it when we look at the real source of the problem. And my next question will try to go at that. As you may recall, several years ago, the producers Timbaland and Swiss Beats came up with a phenomenal thing during
Versus.
called Versus.
It got us through COVID, didn't it? Got us through the lockdown, didn't it?
Didn't it though?
And I was there for it all. I was there for it all. Those were the hits at my house. We got dressed up.
Absolutely.
Sit down in the living room and watch Versus.
Now here's where I'm going with this. What is it about our nature that just enjoys a good fight? What is it about us that there's something about the whole Versus concept that draws us in, whether it's sport, whether it's music, and you just so eloquently pointed out that it almost never ends in good, but what is it about us as a culture that has this bent towards unhealthy competition when it becomes unhealthy?
Yes, and that's why I want to clarify. Competition is very healthy. And the short answer, why are we so competitive? Because we're God. Now, get back to that. But the success of Satan has always been not imposing a artificial nature on us. His success has always been taking our nature and manipulating it. Taking what's divine about us, but masterfully manipulating in such a way where that which is divine about us, he can use it against us. And that's how battle rap, which is good and actually divine, becomes murder rap, which is satanic. Satan has intervened on something divine, manipulated it, and has us acting double.
Come on.
So I said the competitiveness is in the nature of God. Understand, what is a God? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad answered that for us: a being of power and force. Now, those two terms are very scientific terms, and they imply force, the ability to impose your will on your environment. So, there's always been the hierarchy of gods, always. How is that hierarchy established? Some gods are stronger than others because some gods can impose their will. Than others. That's part of being God.
Listen.
That's how you show you God. You're not going to be God by saying I'm God. The demonstration that you are God is the competitive process. So Versus wasn't bad. Some of them, the element creeped in. But competition is divine. That's not what we're saying here. That's Black God protocol. That is absolutely correct. Competition is a part of Black God protocol. Battle rap is competition. Murder rap is Satan's manipulation of that divine process of competition. And Muslims, we are the watchmen on the wall.
Listen.
That's one of our values to Black America. We are the watchmen on the wall when this teaching of Islam by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught to us by the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, this Islam equips us with vision so that we can see the threat when it comes from the wall that we are perched upon.
Listen, y'all, listen.
So we as Muslims are the ones who should be able to see through the surface of what's going on. We are the ones that know. We should see Satan's hand in a phenomenon that Satan's hand absolutely is in. So we can't approach this just as a hip-hop head. We got to approach this as a watchman on the wall. And if we lose our vision, if we lose our ability to see the threat as it's coming, then that means we have a different set of frames on. The frames of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the guidance of the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan allows us to see clearly. But if we are Muslims being bamboozled today, being fooled today, then maybe, I'm not going to say what I'm about to say. Maybe we just need to make sure we picked up the right glasses in the morning, put on the right frames.
Last question for me, bro. And let me just again jump in and do a station ID. This is DJ Rockwell. You're watching the Rockwell Radio Show. Welcome to everybody from across all platforms who are watching. I thank you for joining us. I thank you for staying with us this long. And I'm just having a wow moment. And I cannot thank Brother Dr. Wesley for staying with us this long and for being this transparent and open on this subject. And again, I don't know about y'all at home, but every word I heard tonight was for me. And I hope that you'll go back and listen again to what our brother has said tonight. Dr. Wesley, my last question is this. You've clearly pointed out that we've allowed our culture, and through outside forces, this culture has become a poison to us who consume it in the way that we do.
Yes, sir.
What's the antidote?
The antidote. Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. Hip hop culture has been made a culture of death. Understand? So much of what's promoted, the drugs, the excessive sex and abuse of women and girls, the violence, the diet, it's been made a culture of death. Now, I've said before, we're talking about a clash of cultures, a clash of civilization. That's why I said we can't be just a hip hop head. We are Muslim first. And see, being a Muslim means we are in a culture of life.
Listen.
A culture of death has to be swapped out for a culture of life. So you can't just listen to what's being said. You and me as hip hop heads, we as Muslims, we hear the culture of death in that. And we as members of a culture of life, we should be offended. So the answer, DJ Rockwell, is a culture of life. Now, the rappers don't have to join the mosque, but you need to trade the culture of death for a culture of life. Hip hop was married to Islam in its beginning.
That's right.
And the divorce was forced. The separation was forced. Hip hop is glorious when it's connected to Islam. Now, you don't have to join the mosque, but this culture of life needs to undergird hip hop culture. So your diet, so what is culture? Modes of behavior, modes of thinking, the behavior of hip hop. has to change from a culture of death, from ways of death to ways of life. That's the solution.
Come on, y'all.
The culture of death that hip hop has become has to be transmuted like alchemy into a culture of life. But as long as hip hop, I'm gonna end with this quote. I'm gonna end my response with this right here. Yeah. This is what I end with. Mtume Ya Salam, in a 1995 article, The Aesthetics of Rap, he says this: the explosion of sexually and violently explicit lyrics and the subgenre such lyrics create, such as gangster rap, occurred soon after the major labels got into the rap business. The major labels created an environment in which a rapper's main focus became money, not music. And what is the best way for a rapper to make money in a society in which sex and violence sell? To rap about sex and violence. So this bad culture where you are chasing the bag and willing to go down any road to get the bag, that is part of the culture of death. So when hip hop was taken off of its square and it became not about the music but about the bag, that was not good for hip hop, was not good for the culture, because then the culture can be bought, and the culture has been bought. And so as long as we are fixated on eating, as long as we are fixated on chasing the bag at all costs, then those who print the money can have us do all of what we see. But the scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all of its righteousness. And then we get all of that. I want all of that. And we're promised all of that. But the process is a process that the major labels ain't offering us. The process is the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness first. Then we get the bag. The labels say devilish mint. You want this bag? Be the most wicked devil to your people that you can be. So I heard that in these recent exchanges, and it disturbed me. But more than that, I was disturbed by how I saw us responding to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, Dr. Wesley. I thank you, all of you who are watching from across the world. We thank you. Be sure to like and share this broadcast. Subscribe to all of Dr. Wesley's platforms. Subscribe to this platform if you so choose. There are many programs like this, many episodes like this one that you can find in our back videos. And we hope that you stay a while and choose to peruse through some of them, because I'm so happy, blessed, lucky, if you will, to be playing on the side that's fighting for the antidote. But Dr. Wesley, please tell all of those watching and listening where they can follow you, support you, and get great works like this book here.
Praise belongs to Allah. Well, first, follow your brother by tuning in or visiting first every Sunday your local mosque. If there's not one in your area, you can find me by tuning in to NOI.org/webcast. Listen to the message. Normally by the national, every Sunday, normally by the national assistant of the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, Minister Ishmael Muhammad. Today, we got a great message from a young God in the ministry, student minister Daniel Muhammad. Shout out to my brother. So first, follow me to the source.
Come on.
NOI.org. Tune in every Sunday. And in terms of my social media, I am at Instagram, Wesley Muhammad. I'm not at YouTube, Wesley Muhammad anymore. But I'm trying to build back up the YouTube presence. Currently, it's Black God Protocol. YouTube, Black God Protocol. Facebook, Wesley Muhammad and Dr. Wesley Muhammad. But my website is drwesley.info and wesleymuhammad.com.
Y'all heard it right here. We're grateful. We thank you. And again, as I mentioned earlier, don't just follow all of these platforms that he and I have mentioned, but follow all of our sister platforms. Again, we shout out Closing the Gap. We shout out Nothing But the Truth. We shout out the Jock Brothers. We are a network of information providers, inspiration givers, and motivators, all under the divine leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We thank you all for watching. And until next week, and Brother Doc, whenever that you want to drop by this show, brother, the keys to the door in your hand.
I'm so thankful, Brother DJ Rockwell, that you took your brother's call and you accommodated your brother's request. I'm honored and I'm humbled. Thank you, sir.
Anytime, brother. Love you all. We are out of here. See you next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Now, if you got past all of that, you might as well keep on rocking with us. So come on, everybody, let's go. Let's go. Radio show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. Come on, Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. Everybody, Rockwell Radio Show. That means you too, Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. Subscribe. The Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. Yeah. It's a dope episode, man. Come on, man. Top tripping.